The five-time world champions. Yes, the nation that gave us Pelé, Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, and Neymar might finally be ready to rise again. What if I told you that despite years of heartbreak, injuries, controversies, and a 24-year title drought, Brazil could shock the world and lift the 2026 FIFA World Cup? Sounds unbelievable? Well, keep watching because the story is far deeper than you think. Today, we break down how Brazil, despite all the doubts, all the criticism, and all the recent struggles, might actually be one of the strongest candidates to win the 2026 World Cup. And by the end of this video, you might just start believing in the Seleção again. Brazil, why Brazil still matter, even after 24 years without a World Cup. It has been 24 long years since Brazil last tasted World Cup glory. Not once in that time have they even reached a World Cup final. The team that once dominated football with fearlessness and flair suddenly looked ordinary, inconsistent, and directionless. They are currently ranked 5th by FIFA, and their performances in recent years have left many fans wondering, can Brazil really win the World Cup again? And honestly, at first glance, the answer might seem like a no. Injuries, tactical confusion, constant pressure, and the absence of long-term stability have all contributed to Brazil's struggles. But when you look deeper, when you actually study Brazil's current generation, you start to see something completely different. You see a team that is quietly rebuilding. You see depth, talent, youth, leadership, and a coach who knows exactly how to win trophies. You see a sleeping giant that might finally be opening its eyes. And that brings us to the three biggest reasons why Brazil could become one of the top contenders for the 2026 World Cup. Reason 1, Brazil's endless talent supply, a golden generation in the making. If there is one thing Brazil will never run out of, it is talent. While many national teams depend on 6 to 7 key players, Brazil has 2 full squads of world-class footballers capable of performing at the highest level. Even with Neymar missing long stretches due to injuries, Brazil's star power has not faded. The European clubs are filled with Brazilians, and not as substitutes, but as decisive starters. Just look at the names. Vinicius Junior, Real Madrid's superstar and one of the most dangerous wingers in world football. Rodrygo goes. Ice-cold finisher, clutch mentality, huge game impact. Estevao Willian, the teenage sensation who is already being compared to the early versions of Neymar. Casemiro, a proven leader and midfield warrior. Bruno Guimaraes, one of the Premier League's most complete midfielders. Marquinhos, veteran defensive leader with unmatched consistency. And that's just the headline list. Behind them, there are dozens of Brazilian players starting weekly in Europe's top 5 leagues, more than any other country on the planet. This endless production line of talent is Brazil's biggest weapon. Even if 2 or 3 players get injured, the Seleção never collapses. They have backups who would be starters for almost any other national team. Depth is the reason champions survive long tournaments. And in this category, Brazil stand far ahead of most nations. The world often says, Brazil doesn't produce defenders or midfielders like they used to. But that statement hasn't aged well, because the current generation proves otherwise. Let's talk about the next strength. Reason 2, Brazil's defense is underrated and could win them the tournament. There's an old saying in football, attack wins you matches, but defense wins you trophies. And Brazil's defensive strength has quietly become one of the most dangerous in the world. Just listen to these center backs. Marquinhos, Eder Militao, Gabriel Magalhaes. These are not ordinary defenders. They are world-class stoppers with elite-level experience in the Champions League and major European competitions. Marquinhos provides leadership and composure. Militao offers pace, physicality, and ball-winning ability. Gabriel brings strength, discipline, and positional intelligence. Add to that, fullbacks who can attack and defend. Defensive midfielders who can read the game like veterans. Players who can adapt to multiple positions without losing quality. Brazil's defensive versatility is a massive advantage. When you have defenders who can mark, recover, distribute, and lead, you become extremely dangerous in knockout football, where one mistake can end your tournament. And this is where Brazil have improved significantly. Their defensive unit is no longer just about flair. It is built on structure, intelligence, and discipline. If this defense performs at the 2026 World Cup, Brazil will always have a chance, no matter how strong the opposition attack is. Reason 3. The system, the culture, and the coach, Brazil's winning formula. There is something unique about Brazil, something no other football nation fully understands. The moment a Brazilian child learns to walk, the next thing they learn is football. It is not a sport. It is not a hobby. It is a culture, a lifestyle, a national identity. Players grow up with natural creativity, instinct, bravery, and rhythm. This is the land of samba, and samba flows through their football. Now, add a world-class coach like Carlo Ancelotti to this group, and suddenly, everything changes. Ancelotti is known for one thing above all, bringing out the best in his players by giving them freedom, trust, and tactical clarity. He does not try to turn Brazilian players into strict robotic footballers. He lets them be themselves, fast, expressive, unpredictable, and deadly. Under Ancelotti, creativity will return, rhythm will return, cohesion will return, confidence will return, and most importantly, the fear factor will return. If Brazil find their natural style again, if they rediscover the true samba football, they will become one of the most dangerous teams in the 2026 World Cup. Because when Brazil play freely, confidently, and joyfully, no team in the world wants to face them. The real question now, can Brazil actually win the 2026 World Cup? So now that you've seen the full picture, the depth, the defense, the system, the coaching, and the culture, let's address the big question. Can Brazil win the 2026 World Cup? The honest answer is, yes, they absolutely can, but it depends on a few things. Can the key players stay injury-free? Can Ancelotti create a tactical system that balances attack and defense? Can Brazil maintain consistency during the knockout rounds? And finally, can they bring back the old Brazilian mentality? Because talent alone doesn't win World Cups. Organization, discipline, and mental strength do. And this time, Brazil might finally have all the pieces coming together. This is not just a team. This is a generation that is hungry to end the 24-year drought, hungry to restore the pride of the yellow jersey, hungry to remind the world why Brazil is still football's greatest powerhouse. So now the question goes to you. Do you think Brazil can win the 2026 FIFA World Cup? Can the Seleção rise again and bring home their sixth star? Tell us in the comments below. And if you love football content, analysis, and Brazil-related news, make sure to stay connected. Feel free to ask any football question. You might see it in our next video,